What are some things you'd only know by growing up poor? Pre-cut Christmas trees are free on Christmas Eve. I remember the Christmas tree hunt on Christmas Eve was like our little family tradition. We would drive around in the evening looking for stores that still had trees sitting out front. 9 times out of 10, when we would ask about the tree we were interested in, they would say just take it, glad to get rid of them by that point. Every year we had a perfectly beautiful tree and it was exciting to find perfect trees for free and then stay up late decorating it with homemade glitter pine cones and candy canes. What it's like to be told you think you're just better than us because my mom valued education and prioritized it so we could do better for ourselves. Going into pawn shops to find the things your aunt stole from you and pawn to get drug money. Knowing which family members you had to hide medicine, your purses, and other valuables from when they would visit. The embarrassment of whipping out the Monopoly money food stamps. The taste of government peanut butter. What it's like to use the same bath water as your siblings because running a new tub of water is a waste. The excitement of a trip to the day-old bread store. The ubiquitousness of the concept of need versus want. What it's like to sit at the dinner table emptying piggy banks to help your mom pay bills. Holding your mom quietly the amazingly few times she'd break down crying at the end of the day. If you send a bad check to the utilities company on a Friday you have power for the weekend. Most gas station attendants will not stop a small child from stealing toilet paper from their bathrooms. Who knew? Edit thanks for the solve for this isn't something I had to do a lot but it happened from time to time. My mom took excellent care of me, we just fell a bit short sometimes. I used to work at a gas station. I looked the other way for a lot of sheet. Everyone is struggling and I don't give a shit if a kid steals a candy bar or gets a free iced tea. One man didn't have enough money for a lighter so I said, wait till I turn around. Go walk to the door, light the cig, throw the lighter on the ground, and walk out. How good a buttered tortilla is. I don't know about in other states but in Minnesota they can't shut your power off during the winter because of the danger of someone freezing to death in their house. So that was a good time to try to catch up on some other bills you are way behind on too. They just passed the law in Arizona where it is the other way around starting next summer due to it being 100+ all day and night regularly. Everybody is curious to see how it is going to play out. Cockroaches are killed by baking soda. Even better, boric acid, preferably borax. Mix it with peanut butter or syrup and leave it on a Tupperware lid wherever you see them the most. It dissolves their skeleton and remains in their body, so even after they return to the best the cycle will continue because roaches are cannibals. Easiest way to get rid of a nest. You'll see results within 2 days. Pizza nights are the best birthday present you could ever freaking get. A whole pizza, ordered exactly how you like it, and you get to have more than one slice. Government cheese. Doing your laundry in a bathtub using only cold water. BC the gas was shut off. Trying to spend the night at your friend's house. BC they had food and a warm room. Thanks Nikki. Loving going to school because you could at least eat there. Trips to Goodwill for new clothes. Showers at school because at least 3 water was warm. Being made fun of because you smelled like kerosene. Having lice and no one doing anything about it. Going to school with bruises. BC your parents took their poor decisions out in you. I'm so grateful to a handful of people that saw potential in me. I went to college, got a great job, and broke the cycle. Thanks Tom and Tony. Food stamp paper change. When I was a kid, if you used food stamps they would give back the change in food stamp form. My mom was too proud to publicly use them so she would make up a reason to leave and I would have to pay using them. I was 11 or so. She did it every time. I had to learn to keep my head up. My mother would send me into the store with $20 1-foot stamps. I would stand at the register and get the 95-cent change for each 5-cent gum, one at a time. They figured out what I was doing and started laughing, but they let me do it. The shame was not nearly as bad as dealing with mama without her bone. I was 11 too. On the bright side, nothing embarrasses me now. That sometimes your parents sacrifice everything they have, including their sanity just to see you happy. And you only learn later in life the soul-crushing existence of poverty. Then you wonder how they managed to do so much with so little. Not to ask their parents for stuff. I felt so guilty asking for clothes or other school needs. It also made me dread class art projects, especially in non-art classes. Yeah, it's only $20 worth of crafts, but that's money we need for real life. When you get home and see a yellow notice hanging off your door, you're fricked. It's always on a Friday so you're out of luck until Monday. Outdated technology. When I started college, one of my professors asked if anyone in our class remembered how you changed a channel on the TV before remote controls. I was the only person in the room who remembered turning dials and adjusting rabbit ears despite being one of the youngest students in the class, because my family had a TV from the 70s until 1995. Same sort of thing with computers, phones, etc. If we had it at all, we got something much later than anyone else, after it got cheaper and bought used. I got my first computer in 1999. It had Windows 3.1 and that was what I used until I was able to use my financial aid to get a new PC tower for college. Knowing the cheapest thing on the menu at every restaurant, for when your friend's family invites you out to dinner. Even though you're not paying, you're programmed to only select the cheapest thing. My friend's mom said, "You sure like hot dogs?" That's all you order no matter where we go to eat. Libraries can save your life. The first part of my childhood I would get home from school, usually to a vacant house. I really wouldn't know if I was even going to see either of my parents each night. No cell phones of course. But I was always afraid, nervous at least, of what would happen if they did decide to make an appearance. I started walking to the library every day after school and staying till they closed every night just to avoid the feeling of anxiety for a little longer. Eventually one of the librarians noticed and took a liking to me. I think she might have been through similar things in her life that she saw in me. Gradually we got to know each other. First I started noticing there were more books being added in the genres that I liked. Then one day after the library closed, I walked over to McDonald's. I was a quarter or so short to buy a hamburger and she saw me asking people if they had any change. I saw her and was embarrassed and kinda hid from her. From that point on I think she decided that she was going to take me under her wing. For over a year she would come by my desk at the library and just drop off chips, granola bars, pop, whatever you know. Of course, I would tell her I didn't need it, when in reality I only knew where one meal would come from each day. When I would ask her where it came from, she would just say it was extras from the break room, even though I could hear her in there putting coin after coin into the vending machine. Eventually she would just bring dinner every night to the library and we would sit down in the break room with each other and eat. I finally opened up to her about my family living issues and had her to talk to. Even though I was still pretty guarded, this was a huge relief. Then, after I had been there almost 2 years, it was the week before school started, and I headed into the library. Before I left she told me to meet her outside after close. I did. We walked to her car, and she pulled out a brand new school backpack, and inside was a new outfit, binder, and shoes, my first Nikes. That's when I broke down, and my walls crumbled. She was a single lady working off a librarian's income, but she still made room for me. For 3 years she supported me as much as she could, and she was more of a friend than I had ever experienced up until that point in my life. She is the #1 reason I got out of that house and life. She was with me at all my adoption hearings, and made sure I was put with a nice family. She was at my graduation, and my wedding. She saw me grow up and succeed in life after coming from the bottom. She saw her work and love pay off. I went to her funeral this summer and it felt like I had lost my mother, but I couldn't stop reflecting on how much she changed my life through her sacrifice. Truly an amazing person, and I still donate to the library every year. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys liked it. If you liked the video, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is simply watch the videos. But if you really want to see the channel thrive, subscribe, like, comment, add to favorites, add to playlist, and share with friends. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Reddit and Insta. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you with tomorrow's upload.